Hello YouTube. I want to offer a video today comparing a Watchgecko.com heavy mesh strap to a Chinese $5 strap. You ever wondered if it's worth buying the $5 mesh bracelet on eBay from China? Well, that's the experiment of unfortunately stumbled into by ended up buying both. So here's the backstory. Is of course I own my Trident Pro Christopher Ward C60, and I've done a review of that on here earlier. And a beautiful watch, one of my favorites. And I'm in love with the Breitling Super Ocean Heritage with that the mesh bracelet look that goes with that. And this is a very similar design with the baton style hour marker, so I thought that's what this watch needs. It needs a mesh bracelet. So what I did, another little backstory to this, and I'll show a few pictures as I'm talking. I also, for a while, owned another Trident Pro, the vintage style with the PVD case. It came with a leather strap that I really enjoyed, but I also too wanted a nice bracelet for that, and I went with the mesh. And you can see the one pictured. This is the one. This is the PVD version of the one I'm going to show you today, and that turned out to be just a stunning combination, very silky smooth, and was glad I bought it. And but at the time I didn't want to just keep throwing money away on bracelets, and so I thought I found this one on eBay for $5 and decided to what can I lose for, it was about $5.85 from China. What would be the harm in just giving this a try? So I bought it. About 2 weeks later it shows up in the mail, and tried it on. It was lacking for reasons I will show you momentarily. So months later I decided I really wanted to upgrade the look again to go with the board mesh bracelet style. And so I ordered the polished version, similar to the PVD one that I just showed you there. Same bracelet, just polished instead of PVD. And so this arrived in the mail. Now, I'll be honest with you, when it arrived, I expected it to be a stark difference from the Chinese one. In fact, when I first laid it down, my first impression was, oh no, I just paid $41, which is what I paid for this, for the exact same bracelet. So I was very disappointed the first time I took it out of the box, because in the hand they felt exactly the same. Didn't feel any different. And so my thought was, I just wasted money, or maybe I'll do a video on it. However, that feeling only lasted about 30 seconds before I began to look and notice some difference. And so let me show you those differences, and you decide whether a $5 bracelet off of eBay from China or a $41 bracelet from Watchgecko is the better choice for you. So let's start with the cheap one, and I will show you sort of the things I discovered about it as I begin to look closer. First of all, when I took it out, I noticed that the whole bracelet, let me get it focused in there, was twisted. Not so much now, I've since fixed it, but it was like this coming out of the box. So right away what you realize when you're buying Chinese, you may get roughly the same material, but you're not going to get the workmanship that you will get from a more reputable dealer. And this was definitely twisted. I had to take quite a bit of force to break in this the bracelet, and it still wants to twist on me. I can feel it in my hand. It turns easy this way, but it's hard to turn it that way because there's just a natural force pulling it in a twisted direction, just the way the weave is. That was the very first thing I noticed, and so that was disappointing. So then the second thing I noticed is when I tried to actually put the watch on, and that is, let me see how close I can get in here. You will notice that this bar right there is bent. was bent right out of the bag, and I tried to hook this on, and it would hook, and then this wasn't shutting because it was crooked. So I took a pair of needle nose pliers, started to go after that, and realized that I was going to do nothing but break it. So I left it alone. And what I found out is if I kind of aimed the bend south like that, and then I could put this on, if I can do it, then I can kind of turn this a little bit and get it to snap. And it snaps and it holds, but not without an extra step of really lining it up. And you can see it kind of is crooked there. The clasp doesn't hold the same. So that was my next thing I noticed. So then, as we move further along, we notice that, if we look close here, we notice that the weave is not lined up properly. It is crooked. It's on the sort of the downhill there, and kind of follows that through most of the bracelet. So the bracelet is not at all straight. A little better on this end, but certainly not on this end. Now the lock clasping part is hardly different than the others. In fact, in many ways I would argue that this is the same material just about as the Watchgecko. Similar in many ways, but again, what are you sacrificing? You're sacrificing quality. You're getting a twisted piece, you're getting a bent bar, you're getting a weave that is not straight. So then let's look at the Watchgecko. Let me clean that off. Make it clean and polished. It comes with a polished buckle, which is very nice. This is also considered a polished bracelet, so there's a little more shine and sheen to this, and even though it looks almost the same as the cheap Chinese, I can tell it's definitely stiffer, or definitely heavier is what I'm trying to say. In fact, I put it on the scale and noticed I think this was about 58 grams and this was about 65 grams. You will see straight lined up very nicely, and straight line here, no twist to it, and of course as you would expect, everything lines up perfectly. Very good condition here. This snaps shut and open very easily. Of course, I'll say just about the same for the Chinese one. But then here's something else I noticed. This is slightly thicker. The weave is just ever so slightly thicker than this one. Hardly noticeable. And this has a little less bend to it than this. Now why is that? Because this has a much looser weave. If you begin to count, now there's the same number of weaves going across from left to right, but going down you will see that this is a much looser weave going this way than this, much tighter. A lot less light that'll come through this one, the Watchgecko, than the Chinese one. On the wrist, it feels just that little bit of extra weight does help with the Trident Pro. And I'll do a quick wrist shot here in a minute and let you see what that looks like. But it really glistens nice in the sun, and definitely think. My recommendation is, if you're going to invest in, a rather expensive watch and you want to get a good bracelet to go with it, something like a mesh, please consider the Watchgecko. It would be 1, 2, 3. I've bought 3 mesh bracelets for them. Also, and I'll throw a picture up of this, bought the 4.2 millimeter thick brushed one for my Marathon GSAR. Just sold the Marathon recently, and sold the bracelets separately, but you can just see a quick shot of that. That was a very high quality, rugged piece. So that's the, I don't know, extra heavy duty with the butterfly clasp. I think it now comes with a different clasp, but highly recommend that. And I recommend Watchgecko for $41. And by the way, if you use the Watch You Seek code in checkout, you'll get I think it's 10% off. This actually cost me $36 after the discount, and I would definitely recommend this over the Chinese, just because you get really good quality, good thickness, good weave, and well put together. None of the lack of detail that you found in the Chinese. So let's do a wrist watch check real quickly. Alright, back with my wrist shot for you. Again, the Christopher Ward Trident Pro C60, beautiful red bezel, with the Watchgecko thick mesh strap. And I think it's actually just a great look. Nothing beats the original bracelet on the Trident Pro, but heck, this comes close to competing with it. It really gives it that nice retro look, again reminding me a little bit of that Breitling Super Ocean Heritage piece that's out now. Anyway, so that's my review. Again, spring the extra money the first time, at least that's the lesson I'm learning. Get the quality, and go from there and have something that you'll keep and be proud of. Thank you for tuning in. Give me a like if you don't mind, and we'll see you in the next video.